Today I want to give you some small phrases and some small ideas really that will help you sound more country. Hi, my name is Matheus Canteri. I'm a professional musician here in Nashville, Tennessee, where playing hot chicken picking licks is the only way to survive. So when it comes to playing any style of music, what's the difference between them? You know, like the scales are the same, the chords are the same, so what is it that makes you sound more country or more rock or more blues or more jazz? Well, you know when you meet somebody and you're talking to them and their accent gives away where they're from in the country right away, you can tell by their accent. Well, it's kind of the same thing, you know, with music. You know that they're from the countryside because of the way they pronounce a certain word or because of a certain phrase they use, you know. So it's the same with guitar. So I'm going to show you 3 very simple ideas that will give you that country accent. And if you incorporate that in your phrasing, you're going to sound more country. Let's get to it. Let's do this in A. In the first one, we're going to bend to the major third from the major second, you know, and then go back to the major second and then resolve on the root. So in this case, A. So I'm bending B, which is the major second, to C sharp. And then resolving back on A. You can do it like this, or you can play with it and do, or it depends on the song, you know, whatever fits better, but that movement is very country. The next movement is minor third, major third, and then resolving on the root. So, or. So it's important that you find those intervals and those phrases in relation to different chord shapes in different parts of the fretboard, so you can do them, those phrases, you know, wherever you are. And this third one probably comes from Summertime Blues, and it's just like approaching a certain note from the chord from half step below it. So we've heard this in a million country songs, right? It's a very country sound. So you can do that, like most of the time you hear that over the root, you know, approaching the root, but you can do that approaching the major third, the fifth, whatever note fits the song you're playing, the chord you're playing. So very country sound. So now the next step is to incorporate those 3 movements, you know, this one, and into your phrasing. So I'll give you some examples and I'll just make them up on the fly here. I don't have anything really planned because I want to show you how much this works and how easy it is. So you can play any phrase, say in the A major pentatonic scale. That's a phrase. It doesn't sound country, it doesn't sound anything. But if I do kind of the same phrase and wrap it up differently, you're going to notice the difference. Check this out. Now all of a sudden, you know, I added that country flavor to it. Now it sounds like a country phrase, you know, a country lick. Another example. You know, just bland, generic phrase. Now if I do, now it sounds more country. Let's use the other phrase now, the minor third, major third root, to wrap it up. I'll do this sort of the same phrase. Again, sounds country. So you're adding the country flavor to this scale pattern, right? Lastly, let's do that. That idea, I feel like it's more of like a starter, you know, of a phrase. So I can start with that. So, see, I can do. Or. So I'm adding the sliding to a chord tone, you know, from half step down. and then wrapping it up either with this idea, you know, or... Before we continue, I just want to give a quick shout out to Matt's Music Center. Thanks for the fresh strings, guys, and if you're in the Boston area, make sure you go check them out. That also works with rhythm parts, you know. Say you're playing a blues, you know, in A, and you want to incorporate some of those phrases. Check this out. I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. If you want to learn more about country guitar playing, check out my instructional videos. I just put out a new one called Essential Country Guitar Method, and all the links are in the description. You can also join my Patreon for only $5 a month and have access to a ton of solos with backing tracks and tabs. And you can book an online lesson with me as well. The link is in the description. You can reach out through my website and we'll jam together. How's that? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.